Welcome back to another Old World Fanatics video. This is another breaking news one, really. We've just got a Old World Almanack drop for the Dwarfen Mountain Holds, and rather than just me do it solo, I thought I'd better get one of our grumpy dwarf on, Andrew.
Fresh off the press.
Yeah. So we wanted to get that out. Obviously, we did our podcast as well yesterday, but we missed this one and probably should have thought of that's going to happen this week. But yeah, I wanted to just throw a quick
who knows with these almanacks?
Yeah, that's right. Just happened. Well, they did say something about Thursday for news as well, for a law one. So who knows? Might better do that too. But yeah, so let's just run through it. This will be as quick as we can be quick because we've got stuff on. But hopefully people enjoy our. At least we got some answers, didn't we, from at least my video yesterday?
Yeah.
Of things that I wasn't sure what was happening. I wish I could. Maybe I could try to zoom that up a little bit for the viewers as well. Might be. Oh, is that too big? Is that good? Maybe that's good.
That's good.
Yeah. Cool. So, yeah, we got JTY and Danny are back talking about this Old World drop. Pre-orders are this Saturday, which has been confirmed, and we actually find a lot about the two armies of infamy, which is awesome. So,
yes.
What did they talk about first?
Couple little units.
Yeah, that's right. They sort of gave us a bit of background. This is sort of, I guess, pretty basic stuff in terms of what the Grand Army is and what it's supposed to do. And would you say that they hit on that right, or do you reckon it's a bit of Games Workshop marketing speak around designed to be very, very tanky?
A little bit. It's sort of, they sort of talk about shield wall and stubborn and, how it's more of a static army at the start. Which kind of is, I suppose.
I found this quite interesting that they, they're really calling out the whole drilled and marching column stuff, which I like. Maybe that will actually make some other dwarf players go, "Oh, hang on, maybe I should be using it more."
Yeah,
but I really found this. This is interesting. They won't be able to use these qualities as well as an Empire army might. So I don't know if that's. I haven't played that much Empire yet, so I don't know off the top of my head. I can't remember. I did the review with ASB ages ago. What ones come natively with drilled? But I wonder if that's a precursor to some of the extra stuff we'll get in their Arcane Journal. It's so funny. The Empire are really weird. Poor dwarves taught the Empire everything, and it sounds like the Empire are better at it than everyone else. Like their cannons are better, their drilled stuff's better.
Poor they got better cannons. I'm like, what's going on?
The dwarves have to stop giving their secrets to the Empire.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyway, I don't know. Was there anything in this top bit that is worth?
I did. I heard people talking about, they confirmed the combination of stubborn and shield wall. I always thought that was a given, but obviously some other people, different people got different interpretations, and they're like, "Oh no, you can't use both."
But really? I didn't know.
Some people say that, it's good that they've clarified that you can combine them. But yeah, cool. I always felt
I didn't know it was debatable. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah, cool. Okay, that's cool. And then then they start talking about. Actually, it's interesting. This second paragraph or whatever, Danny's one seemed like he was trying to get some information out of JTY, and then the dude went off talking about magic. But I like how that's funny. Dwarves are my favourite strong core unit of handguns or crossbows. I'm like, wow, Iron Drakes actually, but is what it is. And he's looking forward to seeing how the armies of infamy change how people approach the building of their armies. I guess he is telling us what's in there. Are we going to see expeditionary forces with squadrons of gyros and slayers? So that's interesting that the slayers are mainly mentioned in the expeditionary forces, which I guess makes sense in a way because they're out to seek their doom.
Out in the field.
Yeah, the royal clans. It didn't clear up at all when I read this, apart from them mentioning this royal clan warriors. But they do, further down we talk about that, which we can have a chat about. So, maybe nothing much to talk about there. They talk about the magic. Was there anything that you noticed with the magic stuff? Obviously, they call out the Master Rune of Calm, and what was the other one? That was it, wasn't it? Just the Master Rune of Calm.
Yeah.
Their magic resistance.
Obviously their magic resistance.
Yeah. No, that's
nothing overly new. Yep.
No, that's right. I mean, we've had the book for ages, so we sort of you know, if you didn't have the book and the army book was coming out now, this is the sort of interesting stuff you'd want to know. But given that we've already
Yep.
had the actual book, oh yeah, no, the rune of hesitation, and then we get some new info. So runic tattoos are something new, and they're for slayers and doom seekers, which obviously we thought about. But yeah, interesting that the doom seekers, at least how I'm reading this, can be taken the mercenaries in the Empire as well. So yeah,
That's pretty cool.
how many slayers do you have?
Oh, like 60.
Oh, okay. Right.
I got
So it might be-
40 painted, and I got 20 sitting there.
Oh, yeah, cool. Do you have the old Doom? Yeah, you do have the Doom Seekers because you said they broke all the time.
Yeah, I got a bunch of broken ones.
Yeah.
But I might upgrade and get that because I'm just sick of they snap and you glue them, they snap. It's just
Yeah.
I might look at a replacement.
And did you hear anything around what those runic tattoos do for the Slayers? Was there anything?
No, but
down?
well, they've got basically like obviously weapon tattoos. So I'm assuming it's going to be like a talisman sort of style where it's going to be something defensive, like surely.
Yeah.
But it didn't sort of imbue much information on, exactly.
It'd either be that, like if it's not defensive, it hopefully it's like makes them fast because the faster they can get into combat, the better as well, I guess. But then they will die in droves still. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure they know that there's an issue with the Slayers, just the base Slayers. I'm sure they're aware of that. You'd hope.
Yeah, well, no, you're right. But the thing I get concerned about is how far ahead some of these books would have been written.
Yeah.
I'm assuming some of the arcane journals now are still being written for the ones that haven't come out. But I would imagine the first few of these would have been probably done and dusted. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's a good point to just segue quickly is, we had a bit of a chat. I don't know if people know, but anyway, I put a rumor thing in that I heard another rumor about, the whole stuff on that Discord. Anyway, the guy who I think I never actually found the quote, but the guy who I'm talking about, who's one of the moderators on that Discord, he was just mentioning a little bit of background of the source that he has, and obviously he doesn't leak a lot of stuff because he doesn't, he wants to respect the privacy and all that. That's really cool. But he did leave a couple of nuggets which I thought were really cool around that. Yes, we're going to be very excited for once all these come out, what other stuff's coming out, but also that as he hears more, he said he understands more why some of the grand armies are done the way they are. Like holistically, it sounds like they have thought about a lot of stuff.
Yeah. There's method to the madness.
Yeah. And so I'm hoping that, even though we might look at, say, Empire and go, oh, God, they're, they struggle, whatever. When the Arcane Journal's out and all the other options, it sounds like there has been a bit more of a thought. So I guess why I brought that up is, maybe they have done all these. Do you know what I mean? They're pretty much done. So I don't know how much they can react to the meta, but who knows? It is what it is.
Yeah.
Again, dwarves giving Doom Seekers the Empire things. So poor Doom, because the Doom Seekers could go with the Empire army as well. Then lots of players fielding dragons. I was just talking about dwarf lords and killing things, which again is true, but also not true. If the dragon doesn't want to go into the dwarf lord, he doesn't have to, I guess.
Yeah. Exactly.
I guess they're just calling out that, as we saw with the release of Orcs and Goblins, once the army comes available, people begin playing and they sort of get an idea of actually how to use it all. It feels fresh, which I think's right. The dwarf army with the extra options is going to really open some stuff up.
Definitely.
So let's just get into what they're actually talking about. So the Expeditionary Force, do you want to give our the listeners a bit of an intro of what they're saying about that one?
Yeah, so so it's saying it's obviously going to play quite a bit differently compared to your normal Grand Army list, which I think most people sort of knew. You'd think it'd be a little bit faster in a sense. But yeah, they're saying that the engineers are going to be more offensive than a normal dwarf army. So that's I'm guessing you might have, because they're talking about obviously, with miners and whatnot. So quicker moving units, lots of war machines, experimental gyrocopters, and new runes for ranged weapons, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to work out how that's going to work with the new runes for ranged weapons. That's pretty interesting.
Was there any obvious runes that you can think off the top of your head that aren't in Old World that were in the old one? Like,
Not majorly, but you've got things like, obviously you can't take runes on like organ guns and whatnot.
yeah, that's true.
And yeah, there's not, cannons aren't, as you know, for dwarves, overly offensive when it comes to like their multi wounds and things
Yeah.
like that. So I
Are
think
these?
there is a.
Hmm.
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
go ahead.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of room to maybe improve there, or possibly, movement and shooting, things like that.
But are we actually? I just thought like range weapons might not be war machines. Hey, like
Might not be, no.
this
It
is
could
where it's
be
interesting. Imagine being able to put runes on your crossbow
like
unit,
handgunners
or
or yeah.
yeah, because I think maybe it might be more like that, or even experimental runes on the gyrocopter guns and things
Yeah,
like that. So maybe that's what they're going for.
yeah. That would be pretty cool, sort of, because they're talking about, obviously, it's, you're gonna have like miners are gonna have, like it says, a major role. There's ones with the carts. So I'm not too sure how that's gonna work. They're talking about blasting charges going for other units. So it's pretty interesting. I'm like, well, are we gonna have
Yeah.
like almost this ambushing style army,
Yeah, I think
or
so. And I totally forgot about this. That the actual that cart that I was this one
yeah,
here is actually in this box, is it? Because that came in this. These are the figures from that. Is it Skull Pass? And that's what it
yeah.
came in. So was it connected? Was it a separate sprue, do you know, or was it a sprue that was hanging off like the warrior units or the miners?
I've
Was it or
got them, but I never actually had them on sprue.
sprue? Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've just bought them sort of like,
Oh, one of our leave a comment, guys. Let us know where that sits in this. Because, yeah, I'm
yeah,
the
yeah,
same. A lot of the stuff I've had over time, you buy secondhand and it's already off a
yeah,
sprue. And
yeah. It's very sort
yeah.
of put together.
So that's cool. That's why I said on my video yesterday that it's weird that I only saw the Bugman cart, but not realizing that, okay, that other one comes in that battalion box, which it might be called out somewhere, but I missed it. The other thing I do like that they were talking about was, I think it was just that, oh yeah, sorry, it's slightly just down here, the Scout gyrocopters, which is all related here. And that you can build it in the same box. It just doesn't have no bombs. So I got out speaking of instructions, I actually do have some instructions, and I was looking through trying to work out what it means. And funnily, it probably just means how I've built my gyrocopter, which is with the little propellers rather than the bomb wings.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe, I don't know, unless you know specifically how you might build it. I'm guessing that's all it is, really.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see too many people. Like, it's probably just going to be your gyrocopter without the bombs on the side.
But I actually built it that way because I thought it looked better with the little propellers.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, to me, it's just going to be interchangeable with your standard gyrocopter.
Yeah, but Scout's cool, hey? Like Scout with lighter weapons. So it's, I mean, this is the thing. If you can be up in people's faces earlier, then you're dictating the battle still a little bit, even though it might be turn 4 or 5 when you're getting your charges off,
Yeah, yeah. Well, if you got like an ambushing army, it might be good. Obviously, you got scout stuff coming in. You could have rangers and whatnot. It'd be,
and they can't just rush you, hey, because you're all over
yeah,
the board. Yeah.
And then you're sort of appearing behind them. So yeah, I think it's a really interesting take on the dwarves.
It's actually, at least reading this, I feel like it is the interesting one versus the other one at the moment, but that's because I don't really know too much about the other one yet.
Yeah. Well, it's talking about the tapping weapon moving forward. It's like a fast moving skirmisher with a tapping weapon. It's not a
tapping
gunship.
as in like, is that like,
yeah, I don't know.
shoot
Like,
type
it's got like a little drill hanging off the front. I was a bit like, flat. Yeah, it's maybe it is like a melee. It's got some sort of melee style weapon, which is a bit weird for a gyrocopter. But
and obviously they go back talking about the Bugman's cart. Sounds like that's going to increase some speed. So really interested to see what this expeditionary force is, and what you can and can't take, which is going to be interesting. Like, will it still have an anvil unit anywhere? I don't know. It might be mostly small ranged units, and
Mm.
it should be kind of cool.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything new on that picture worth looking at, apart from people start always doing this where they're like, oh look, the wood elves are in the picture, so they're next. Like they're
Oh,
excuse me, yeah. Cool. Then we get into Royal Clan, which is the one that I had no idea about, even though we knew it was something to do with kings and queens and stuff.
mm,
I guess I forgot about this. Well, I didn't know this, but whenever they do one of these armies of infinite use, they pull stuff out as well. So here they're like saying, no black powder.
yeah.
We're the old way. I like how they're saying it's like we're the grumbly, like it's almost like if the Grand Army's tanky, this is even more tank. It's like this is
Yeah.
even more like, we're
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
we take you on into combat and that's it. Which is interesting because sometimes how do you get into combat is the reason why you get in combat with dwarves is because they are shooting you and you need to get in
Yeah,
combat.
exactly.
So I just
So
don't
if they're
know.
not shooting you, it's sort of what's going on there?
Yeah. But yeah, so I didn't have this kit, but you do. So am I assuming here that to build these royal clans, you're really using the Longbeard army arms and stuff with the hammerer body? Is that a possibility? Is that what it means?
Well, that's sort of what I got out of it, but again, it's one of these things. Like I think people were probably just going to use, what they've got probably proxied in already. But yeah, that's sort of what I'm getting. It's going to be like the hammerer's kit, but sort of like you said, the Longbeard weaponry and the
I'm
shield.
gonna have to see what I can do with the Highlands ones for that because they're separate. I think they should still be right. I'll have to have a look, see if it's easily interchangeable or not. And the other thing, obviously, you do is probably put a lot more gold and a lot more like royalty into that unit. And it just looks like a better dwarf warrior, basically, a little bit better than ordinary dwarf warriors.
Yeah. I was interested to see what the difference is going to be between like a Longbeard and the Royal Clan warriors. Like,
So the Longbeard, what's he? Weapon skill 5, strength 3, tough 4, or strength 4, tough 4?
strength 4, tough 4.
Yeah.
Can take obviously great weapons or hand weapons, but they've got all the Longbeards have got all the special rules you want. So I'm not sure how the Royal Clan warriors are going to be. They might be maybe because you don't have things like your black powder. Maybe they might be a little bit cheaper, or
Yeah.
we'll wait and see.
Yeah, there's not much info on it really, I don't think. So it's going to be obviously that's hand weapons and shields, so it's probably not great weapons.
Yeah, I'd be assuming. Yeah.
So they might go to a strength. They might still be just like weapon skill 4, but strength 4, tough 4, or something like that potentially.
Yeah, or maybe they got plate, a standard warrior with plate armor or something like that. Yeah, it could be any and all of these options.
Yeah. Now that's going to be interesting. Although they make this, here's where they talk about the Slayer army.
Yeah.
So it's actually a royal clan, but you have to take Ungram as the general, and then I'm guessing in that case, and they're saying you can build a Slayer heavy army. So I'm assuming that this is not just one core of Slayers. If you take Ungram, it's like you can take Slayers as core. That would be my guess.
Yeah, at least 0-1 or something, or probably 1+. Sorry, I'm guessing you'd probably have to take.
Because it feels weird that if you take Ungram, you only get one unit of core Slayers. That doesn't seem.
Yeah.
Because people were wondering about that when I made that comment yesterday, was whether or not it's just one unit of Slayers or if it's more. But it feels like, I mean, if you're going to do a Slayer army, they'd be all Slayers, wouldn't they?
Yeah, or at least you'd hope over 50%.
Yeah. It would be cool if they made a slight distinction. It'd be a lot of modelling to do, but if they sort of, they weren't really Slayers, but if you took Ungram, then your other units that weren't Slayers somehow got some of the Slayer ability, and then you could do some conversions with heads or something. So they were like Slayers with range weapons and stuff. Well, I don't know. It's not really Slayerish though, I guess.
No, it's not.
But maybe they support. I'm assuming the Slayer keeps not just 100% bunch of Slayers running around. Like if they're all off seeking their doom, what's in character in? Like surely there's people protecting the city and stuff, and it's just not Slayers. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. It's like a normal sort of hold, but then it's like where the Slayers sort of where they go back to, they've had enough of fighting and they just want to have a couple of beers before they head back out, trying to seek their doom. there was nobody worthy enough when they went out, so they're going back for a couple of beverages.
And I should have said right at the beginning, they actually mention that this week is wave 1, and I was so overwhelmed with the amount of dwarf stuff that came out in that first drop that I was like, oh, this is it. This is what dwarves are getting. But then not realizing how much stuff isn't there still, like the cannons and the miners, and even, they've got this guy, which is one of the dudes that came out in like 8th ed or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're going to re-release these people. But then again, more people hit up me on comments yesterday saying how much stuff is still missing out of all the other ones. And you just forget, like the Black Orcs are not here in Australia. They still don't have the Orc Shaman guy. There's probably Brett stuff missing still. I think Tomb Kings is mostly there as far as I remember. But it is crazy to think that there's these random units in even the first 3 armies that are still not released. So when are they going to do that? Very weird.
Yeah, it's a bit odd.
Yeah, and I think some of this might be like sometimes I wonder if Old World has like a set what do you call it, like pipeline of plastics that they're allowed to make, like to take away from the others. And so if a particular army has a bunch of these, even this Slayer guy here, for example, he's plastic, and if they re-release him, they have to wait for like a hole in the schedule, which might be like 6 months away. Do you know what I mean? I'm wondering if it's something like that. Whereas when they're re-releasing the resin stuff and things, they can just pump it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. Just like the tooling and the kits, because obviously
because they don't have.
Yeah,
I mean, I know they crapped on that they have enough capacity, but in reality, they're still trying to fight over trying to build a third factory for the plastic injection molding. So once that's done, I think that would open it up. But I reckon it's something like that where, they're already releasing all these plastic kits like the gyros and the battalion box and stuff. And they're like, well, sorry, these characters are just going to have to wait. And so that's why I still don't understand why Australia doesn't have Black Orcs, but that's a different, I have no idea. Anyway.
That's a bit odd.
Unless I'm wrong there and they are there, but I didn't see them on the store. Cool. And they're starting to drop some hints here about, there are loads of awesome things that we would have loved to do straight out of the gate, but some of these armies are so cool that they weren't taking the time to be done right. I've got a big list of themes we've not covered yet. There's still a lot in the cupboard still. And again, going off that guy, the moderator on that Discord channel, saying that, like, you guys will love what is coming. So I feel like, again, let's get all these armies out, and then this game is really going to shine.
The waiting game. Yeah.
The good news is I haven't seen anything here that says Australia's not going to get it on Saturday. So that's a change. Cool. Anything else on that, Andrew, that I missed near the end there? Or
Nah, I'm just hoping we see, the regulars coming on soon and they can give us a rundown. And hopefully we can do a bit of a rundown of the book as soon as we get some access to it.
Well, usually what happens with the content creators who have access, and Games Workshop, we're waiting, the embargo lifts the day of pre-order. So I'm guessing we'll start seeing the crappy, grainy, YouTube pics on Saturday, and then, and then I'm just hoping
inspire us to get another video out.
Yeah, that's right. I just wish at some point, like, does this have to be a 2-week pre-order window? Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's all ready to go, just get it out. So
yeah, exactly.
That'd be awesome if it ended up being a 1-week one, but who knows? Cool. Anyway, that's the Dwarf Almanack. There is a lore one coming Thursday, so maybe we'll jump on Friday or something our time and smash that one out. But otherwise, we'll summarize this again next week after it's all out and pre-ordered on our podcast. So if you haven't subscribed, hit us up, hit that like button, subscribe, all that sort of stuff, and jump over to on the links. You can also see our podcast if you want the audio version, and jump on that and subscribe to that. It's really appreciated. And for those who want to support the show, we do have a Patreon at patreon.com/oldworldfanatics. Really appreciate all the support. Old World just keeps growing, and obviously our content keeps growing. So appreciate it, guys. Thanks for listening to another quick video from Old World Fanatics, and we'll catch you on the next one.